Hello and welcome once again to DRS, my very own personal space where we talk matters cricketing. I guess in the week that we've just seen one of the greatest innings played by an Indian batsman in Test cricket, who else can we talk of but the captain, Mahendra Singh Dhoni? Just think of the situation that he found himself in that Chennai Test. His captaincy was on the line. The team's position was on the line. There were question marks over whether Dhoni was really the right man to be batting at number 6. In effect, Mahendra Singh Dhoni's future, in a strange way, as a test quality batsman and captain, was on the line that day in Chennai. What does Dhoni then go and do? He produces an innings of a kind which we will rarely see in this country. On a dusty, sandy wicket, where stroke play was difficult, Dhoni virtually destroyed the Australian attack, demoralized the Australian team, and was almost singularly responsible for India winning the match so comfortably. To my mind, it tells us a lot about the kind of character Mahendra Singh Dhoni is. It's not without reason that he is now India's most successful Test captain along with Sourav Ganguly. Because Dhoni has always shown this unique ability to stand up in a crisis and lead from the front. Remember the World Cup final, where again Dhoni took the responsibility of taking on the Sri Lankan spinners. Here again you saw Mahendra Singh Dhoni showing the courage and the competitive spirit to really play cricket in the way that he knew, or the only way that he knew, which is to keep it simple. I like the way Dhoni, when he was asked after the match about his double century, said, well, I never dreamt that I would play for India. I never dreamt I would score a double century. Somewhere there is something enormously attractive about someone who keeps the game so simple, who doesn't get carried away by the surround sound. You never see emotions with Dhoni, pumping of fists or screaming and shouting on a cricket field. He almost seems zen-like in the way he plays the game. And yet, the moment he wields the bat and decides that he's going to unleash the fury of his strokes, he appears a completely different character. He's very rare in that sense. Perhaps the closest that I can think in Indian terms is Kapil Dev, who was very much like Dhoni, a natural hitter of a cricket ball. But Kapil was not quite the leader of men that Mahendra Singh Dhoni is. Mahendra Singh Dhoni has been able to bring together this team like few others have. And he's done it in quietly but firmly. In that sense, many would say he's very different to Sourav Ganguly, with whom he now shares that mantle of having won the most amount of test matches. Ganguly was emotional. He wore his emotions on his sleeve. He let the opponents know that he was there to confront them and be in their face. Dhoni is different. He's the silent assassin. The way he destroyed that Australian attack really conveyed a certain intensity of purpose, but without that emotional fervor. It was done in almost near perfection because he knew exactly which bowlers he was going to target. There was method in the madness. This was not some harakiri innings. There was not a touch of desperation to the way he played. It was a cold and calculated assault on the Australian bowlers. And the great thing is Dhoni has done this more than once, which is why he's such a great finisher, for example, in one-day cricket, because he has the temperament to take up and soak up all the pressure that is involved in the final overs of a one-day match. Many of us thought he couldn't replicate that in Test cricket. He's proved us wrong. He's shown that he's capable of batting number 6, particularly in Indian conditions. He may struggle technically in foreign conditions, but in Indian conditions, according to me, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is the ideal number 6. When bowlers are tiring and they see Mahendra Singh Dhoni coming in, they will tire even more because he has that ability to inspire fear and awe in the other side. To my mind, it must rank as one of the finest test innings I've seen and been privileged to see by an Indian batsman. It only confirms that those who called for Mahendra Singh Dhoni's head only a month ago were grossly mistaken. I still believe that maybe he should hive off the burden of captaincy in 20 over cricket and 50 over cricket, possibly to a Virat Kohli. Maybe he should slightly slow down in terms of the number of matches he plays. He almost plays every game. He never seems to get injured. Maybe he should give up the captaincy of Chennai Super Kings as has been suggested by Rahul Dravid. Maybe he needs to lessen the burden and pressure on him. But for now, I think we should just enjoy the fact that this boy from Ranchi, or this man from Ranchi, has proved himself at the highest level to be one of the finest wicketkeeper batsmen the world has seen. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, I must doff my hat to you. And I was particularly delighted to learn when you said that you don't read the newspapers or watch TV channels when the matches are on. That's perhaps a good way, or the ideal way, to take the pressure off you. And I hope that all those channels and all those ex-cricketers and newspapers who were calling for your head now realize that you are someone who's truly special.